Hi there, myself Vizas from UnoSearch and you are watching the second part of Google Search Console tutorial. In the first part, I have explained in detail about the property, overview, performance and URL inspection tool of Google Search Console. So by any chance if you have missed the first part, I suggest you to watch that video first and then continue with this one. I have provided the link in the description or you can open that video just by clicking on the top right corner of your screen. Today I will be talking about the index section of Google Search Console, which contains coverage, sitemap and removal tool. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So we'll start with coverage, the first option under index section. At the top right corner, you can see the export button, similar to what we have previously seen under the performance section. And it contains the same three file formats in which we can download the data. But the catch here is that when we export data from performance section, it will only provide data related to performance section. And when we are exporting data from the coverage section, it will provide us with the data related to this section. Moving forward, just below the export button, we can also see the last updated information, which tells us that when was the last date the website coverage data was collected. The next option is for primary crawler. In total, there are two types of primary crawlers, smartphone and desktop. Here in my case, it's showing smartphone. Smartphone is when Google crawler is visiting my website and it's viewing it in a smartphone view format. And when it's showing desktop, that means Google crawler is seeing my website in a desktop view format. But the issue here is that more than 80% of the websites are designed according to a desktop view format. So all the hard work which you have put into those animations and slides are not even seen by Google crawlers when they visit your website on a mobile view format. So if a primary crawler is giving you a smartphone result for your website, then it's a reminder for you to start optimizing and designing your website for a mobile view format. Next, you can see there are 4 boxes, each containing a different kind of data. The first box, red in color, denotes the pages in your website having errors and cannot be indexed on Google search results. The big digit shows the number of pages containing errors, and below that it also displays the type of errors that exist on your page. Now if you will scroll down, you can see the type of errors, and by clicking on it, you can see the exact page of your website having errors. Currently it is showing results for only 10 pages. If you want to see more pages, then click here and increase the row per page count. We must resolve these issues as these pages are not getting indexed and we are losing traffic to our website. I'll be talking about different type of errors and how you can resolve them in my upcoming videos. The second yellow color box at the top represents the valid pages with warning. This means your pages is currently indexed, but there is some issue and crawlers are not sure whether this is done intentionally or not by the website owner. So here we need to check the pages coming under this section and see that if we need to remove those pages from indexing or should we rectify the errors. The third box, green in color, represents the valid pages that have been indexed successfully. But it is not necessary that the pages which are indexed are from the sitemap you have submitted. It can also index pages outside the sitemap. If you will scroll down, you can see the number of pages that have been indexed from your sitemap and the number of pages that are indexed but not submitted in your sitemap. And similarly, like the other section, if you will click on it, you can see the exact pages which are indexed. The last box, grey in color, represents the number of pages that were excluded by Google. This simply means that Google has crawled these pages but is not indexing them intentionally. If you will scroll down, you can see what is the actual reason for which Google has excluded these pages, and you can even try to resolve some of these issues to index your page. Now all these pages and issues which you are seeing are for your whole website. If you wish to see the report for only those pages which you have mentioned on your sitemap, then click on this top filter drop down here and select the sitemap. Moving forward, the second option in the index section is for sitemaps. A sitemap is a file that contains a list of all the important pages of your website. The reason for having all of them stored in one place is that it helps Google crawlers to find all the pages in one place instead of discovering them via internal links. There are basically two types of sitemaps, XML sitemap and HTML sitemap. But make sure for Google Search Console, when you're submitting your website sitemap, it must be in XML format because Google can't process HTML sitemap yet. Also, adding a sitemap to your Google Search Console account is a ranking factor. So the first option you see in here is to add a new sitemap. Here in this box, I have to paste or type my XML sitemap URL. And as we can see, my website URL is already mentioned over here. So I just need to type the extension of the sitemap URL with .xml at the end. For your Search Console, if your website URL is not showing in the front of box and the box size is also large, then don't panic. It is very normal and it's due to the difference in property type. This means that you must be using a domain property. The website URL which was showing in my case was because I am using a URL prefix property. There is not much difference between these two types. In the domain property, you can add any kind of subdomain before your website domain name. And to type that, Google Search Console has provided you with the sufficient space. While in the URL prefix property, the starting part of the URL can't be changed. So Google Search Console has made my URL fixed in the sitemap section. After this, we can click on the submit button. In my case, I have already fetched my sitemap, so I'll skip it. The second option in the sitemap section is for submitted sitemaps. It will give you a bunch of information about the sitemap you have submitted, like name of XML file, type, the date on which the XML file was submitted, when was the last time the sitemap was read by Google, the status of the sitemap access. Once your sitemap is fetched by Google, it will show the status as success. In total, how many URLs did crawlers have found through your sitemap? And the last button here is for index coverage. When you will click on this, it will take you to the coverage section and only show you the report or data for a particular sitemap you have selected. Now in some cases, when we submit the sitemap, it shows us the status as couldn't fetch. This means Google is unable to access our sitemap for some reason. This can happen when you have submitted your sitemap URL incorrectly. There may be some error in the sitemap file which we have submitted. The sitemap may be corrupted. Your sitemap file may be blocked by robot.txt, or there may be a bug in Google Search Console. I personally have encountered this issue for my clients many times. So to solve this, you need to check if the sitemap URL you have provided is valid or not, whether the file is corrupted or not. And many times Google Search Console automatically fetches the data after few hours or days and shows the status as success. Moving forward, now suppose if you want to delete a sitemap. For that, you need to click on the sitemap which you want to delete. It will take you to this page. Here we can see the same data about the last read date, total discovered URLs, and same index coverage option. On the top right corner, there is this 3 dots. Click on that and it will give us the option of removing the sitemap. Now third option in Google Search Console index section is for removals. In here at the top, there are a total of 3 options for temporary removal, outdated content, and safe search filtering. Currently there is no such option for permanent removal from Google site. In case if you want to remove a page permanently from Google indexing, you can either block the page from indexing or you can delete the page from your website. Using the temporary removal option, we can remove any index page of our website from Google search for 6 months. To start with this feature, click on the new request button. Here the first option is for temporary remove URL, wherein we can type or paste the URL for which we want to remove the indexing from Google. It will not only remove the indexing from Google search, for 6 months, but will also clear the cached version and snippet recorded by Google. From the second option, clear cached URL, we can only remove the cached versions and snippet recorded by Google. The URL won't be removed from Google search. For example, I'll take this URL www.mywebsite.com/blogs/hair transplant cost in Mumbai. And below that you can see there are two more options. The first one is for removing this particular URL only. And if I'll select the second option, remove all URLs with a prefix, and type the URL up till mywebsite.com/blogs. It means that all my pages with this URL prefix will be removed from Google indexing. So while using this feature, you need to be very careful. Then we need to click on submit button. After this, Google Search Console will ask you to double check your URL before you submit the request. And now let's say after few days or months, for some reason you want to cancel this request. So for that, you can simply delete your request from Google Search Console. To do that, just press these three dots and click on cancel request. And that's all you need to do. Now coming on to the second option under removal section is for outdated content. This section is generally empty, which is a good sign, because when a normal Google user reports your content as outdated, the URL of those pages appear over here. This signifies that it's high time that you update your content. Coming on to the third option under removal section is for safe search filtering. This section is also same as outdated content, but the only difference is that when a URL appears over here, it means that someone has reported your page that it has adult content. So it's good that these sections are empty. That's all for today's video. We'll catch up in next part of Google Search Console video. Till then, goodbye.